At this time, I'd like to invite up Senior Class Recording Secretary Emily Frank to the podium.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, members of the class of the 2022, parents, guardians, family members, the leadership team, staff, school committee. Now I can breathe. Let's try this again. And Alex, can we edit all that? Good morning, members of the class of 2022, parents, guardians, family members, the leadership team, staff, school committee, and Granby community members. I was tasked with writing opening remarks for today's commencement ceremony and thought this could be fun on so many levels. I immediately Google searched graduation speeches. I read the top 5 tips when writing a speech. It all seemed to be pretty useless with the exception of the part that I'm supposed to introduce myself. So for those that don't know me, my name is Allison Jordan Gagner. I am the senior class advisor as well as the Granby Junior Senior High School building principal. Many thoughts began to pop into my head, and then it came to me. What if I could finally share my words of wisdom with our students and tell them how I really feel? I found myself attempting to capture the right words to say that would accurately depict our graduates. After several hours, I came to the conclusion The words wouldn't come out because I wasn't ready to let go. You were right, Yanni. The struggle is real. I woke up this morning and opened Instagram to put up the last daily post. It clicked. Words were racing in my head. Today is your day. You have earned it. No more student handbook to follow or be reminded of the infractions daily. You've earned the opportunity to be recognized and made to be feel special and loved. You have overcome many obstacles and challenges thrown your way. You learned valuable skills for your toolbox, and yes, they make them in pink too, that will prepare you for future decisions that you will be making on your own. You become responsible for yourself. You are in control and will determine your next moves, whether it's to attend colleges or one of the branches of the U.S. Armed Forces, enrolling into an apprenticeship, taking up costume design, traveling to Spain to run soccer camps, or sketching out somebody's next tattoo. Isaiah, I hope I am your first client. Six years ago, you walked through the doors of our vintage castle. It's not super shiny or covered in shiplap and marble. One can only dream. But that didn't matter. Our castle became your second home. Of more than 1,000 days of school, times 6 hours plus after-school activities, and let's be real, it was a lot. For our families, in case you were wondering, here's a glimpse inside the walls of Granby Junior Senior High School. The bell rings at 7:30. Dana's running around preparing the sports update to read over the PA. It's now 7:35, and Max and Liam have arrived. The school day can now begin. As he quoted in the yearbook, it's better late than ever. CK makes his first lap around the halls, checking to make sure we have everything under control. The Breakfast Club arrives to hang out with Gilly during 10-minute break, and I'm pretty sure the second floor turned into a racetrack that Teresa Rideout may or may not be responsible for. On a more serious note, the incredibly gifted artists painting murals around the building and displaying their senior portfolio at Arts Night, or the senior members of the band acting as peer models for our younger musicians. Not to mention the fact that Katrina made her own prom dress and saved the day as she became a seamstress at prom to quickly avoid a potential disaster. Many of you have assumed your leadership roles with our student council, which later morphed into officer positions for the senior class. You were responsible for organizing dances, pep rallies, all sorts of fun dress-up days, and even crushed it designing our class posters. I'll say it again, I'm not quite sure how you managed life with the many hats you wore. You all possess leadership qualities that will set you up for success. Some of you have been recognized for your athletic abilities. I must say, I am amazed by the talent in our class. Whether it was burying a PK in the upper 90, sinking a 3-for-0 to go into overtime with 0 time left, hitting a ball over the brand new baseball fence, achieving a milestone to make a banner, or assigning to continue your athletic careers in college or in Spain. Not to mention being part of new sports teams such as swimming and volleyball. So here's to letting go. Number 1, family first. Number 2, build your support team and keep them close. 3, be a gentle, kind soul, always and often. Number 4, use your manners no matter what. Number 5, have respect for yourself and for others. 6, give back and pay it forward. You don't need permission to do so. Number 7, love others and allow yourself to be loved. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ariana Klikaka, the senior class president.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to begin my speech today, as many do, by thanking my teachers, classmates, and family members for pushing me to always give my 110% both in and out of the classroom. I'll admit I was quite lost when I was told I needed to sum up 12 years of memories in just a couple minutes. So, as many do, I began with a simple Google search, class president graduation speeches. Most of them consisted of overly involved students like me, recalling the nerves felt not recognizing any faces in new classes, memories made at football games, and an audience of over 300 graduating seniors. Quickly, I realized that Granby was uniquely different from all these schools. It was quite evident for many of these graduates it was their first time meeting the person sitting next to them. While I stand up here today, I am proud to say that I am able to look into this group of blue and white and recall the personal connections I have made with each member of my graduating class. Throughout the years, strength and determination to better our community is what has made us so great. Think about it. How many classes can say they were undefeated Spirit Week poster chants throughout high school? How many seniors around the world can say that they had the honor to graduate on National Corn on the Cob Day? In case you didn't know, today is in fact National Corn on the Cob Day. In times of change, with chapters closing and new ones beginning, we can't help ourselves from taking a trip down memory lane. 2009, where it all began. Gas prices were at a whopping $2.70, and minimum wage had just been raised to $7.25, as well as civilians all around the world lining up for their chance at getting their hands on the brand new iPhone 3G. On the morning of September 1st, 2009, the Black Eyed Peas hit top charts with their song, I Got a Feeling. That same day, we were presented with the most action-packed book of our lives titled Adventures at Granby. Chapter 1, The First Day of School. Many of us shed tears as we hopped on the bus for the first time, just like the big kids. At the time, we did not know why we were going to this big brick building 5 days a week, or why we were forced to learn to count to 10, but we went with it, and this allowed us to grow. Chapter 2, Our First Field Day. The day was June 7th, 2010. Now, we may not all remember those giant bubbles or water balloons tosses we had, but my mom's Facebook assured me that we had a blast. With that being said, I would like to remind everyone not to stress about the small things. In 10 years, you will not remember the embarrassing thing that happened in math class or that shot you missed in your soccer game. Throughout the years, I have seen my classmates thrive and win championship games, whereas I have also seen my classmates struggle. However, these weaknesses have only helped us grow and embrace the fact that no one was perfect. If everyone was perfect, we wouldn't have any of the good laughs and memories we have today, such as freshman year when Emma's retainer got thrown out on spaghetti and meatball day, and then somehow managed to get her head stuck in the pottery wheel a day later. As we continue our careers, I encourage all my classmates to embrace the fact, and I will repeat it again, nobody is perfect. Little do you know, your biggest struggles have led to your greatest successes. There will be a point in time in which we are unsure on what to do with our lives, and many of us may feel as if we are failures. Whether we don't get the job we hope for, or something does not go as planned, we are all taught to expect disappointment. However, this is not to fault any of us, as we have all proven ourselves to be strong, powerful individuals. The society we live in today is built to break us down, only so we can use our strengths and build ourselves back up. These struggles are known to cause a lot of self-doubt and leave us to always ask the question, what if? What if I chose the wrong college? What if I don't succeed? How about, what if I never got to see Cooper race Mr. Dorman down the hall? What if Joey had never tried to capcate the frog we were dissecting? The answer is simple. I wouldn't have gotten the last that pushed me to come to school every day. The last that allowed me to put aside my struggles and make the most out of my high school career. Now, what if I didn't go to Granby? What if I was born 6 months later? Then I wouldn't have been a part of history. A tight-knit group of kids who have proven themselves to be one of the most memorable grades to graduate GJSHS. A grade full of artists, musicians, athletes, politicians, and friends. Peers who will hold connections much past high school. But most importantly, I wouldn't be able to say that I graduated with a D1 commit Mike Toth. Now, what if I didn't have the teachers I did? Then I wouldn't have known about the extreme life Happy the dog lives, or that Mr. Racine's house is home to one of the rarest Pokemon Go figures. Today, we flip the page to the last chapter of that book. This chapter is titled Graduation. For some of us, this will be the last time we see one another. Some of us will go right into the workforce, while others will pursue their education in college, and some will go into the armed forces. Most importantly, we will all go out into the real world with a drive to create a change and carry the legacy of Granby on our backs for the rest of our lives. To my fellow class officers, thank you for being there for me in supporting my crazy, extravagant ideas, such as hand-building picnic tables to save money on our senior guest, or doing all 120 names on pep rally shirts by hand. Thank you, Allison, for always being there for me along the way and standing by my side with these crazy cricket ideas. Lastly, thank you to the class of 2022. Being here today did not come easy to anyone. We lived through some of the most historical events, global pandemics, natural disasters, and high school terrors. But still, we are here today, receiving what seems to be the ticket to the next book of your life. Take this ticket and hold it with pride. Remember what got you here today. Use the strengths to close the book written at Granby and open a new one, but do not let that old book go far. Never be ashamed to look back and embrace the good old days. It has been a pleasure serving as your class president for the past 4 years, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
All senior musicians, please join the band. Senior band song, You'll Be in My Heart by Phil Collins, arranged by Christopher Ty. I'd like to invite up Senior Class Treasurer Paige Galusha.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure as the class treasurer of the 2022 class to present the class gift. There's quite the debate on what to leave behind as a gift. We didn't want to simply leave a tree or small token, so the class decided to hand-build picnic tables for the up-and-coming classes to enjoy. A huge shout out to our president, Ariana Klikaka, for her amazing work on those tables. I know how much my grade loved eating outside and playing basketball and basking in the sun. It's such a pleasure to know that we were allowed that, to be able to go outside and enjoy the beautiful sunshine. So we as a class want to leave behind a nice place for the students to be able to enjoy eating lunch outside. I hope they enjoyed as much as we did. I hope this becomes a positive space for all students to enjoy in and out of school. Thank you.
The Salutatorian title is given to the senior who has earned the second highest GPA. Ariana is a representative of the Regional Student Advisory Council, Project 351 Regional Leader for Western Massachusetts, President of the Student Council, President of the Class of 2022, President of the National Honor Society, and is a 3-season athlete. In the fall, Ariana will be attending Northeastern University with plans to double major in civil engineering and architecture. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the salutatorian of the Class of 2022, Ariana Klikaka.
Hello again. I know by this point you're all probably tired of listening to me, but I promise to keep this one short. I would like to begin my speech by saying that I am truly honored to hold the title of this year's salutatorian, or as the Browns would call it, Salutatorian. As I stand up here today, I feel as if I am just as surprised as many of my classmates that I am the one to deliver the speech. Whether it be my inability to pass the permit test on the first try, or my difficulty to locate Russia on a world map, I may not present myself as one of the smartest, and am far from being the picture-perfect version of salutatorian depicted in the movies. Although I can differentiate calculus equations in my sleep, I still am unable to figure out which exit the GPS wants me to take off the highway, especially when I'm the one giving directions. Sorry, Sienna. My whole life, I stressed over a number on a piece of paper. I never really cared about what I wore to school or the amount of sleep I got at night, but I did care that those numbers on plus portals reached my satisfaction. Looking back on it, I asked myself, why wasn't it 89 good enough? Was it necessary to barge into Emma's room at midnight to let her know I disagreed with her number 7 on the homework? Was missing a social event to write this speech really worthwhile? Probably not, but I did it anyway. I was told the salutatorian's job was to provide the class with reflections. Now, when I hear the word reflections, I often only think about the good times, reflecting upon the time we won Western Mass or when we were Spirit Week champs. But today I would like to take the time to reflect upon what I wish my past self focused on more, using some of my dad's famous quotes. Stop perseverating, which, for those of you who know my dad, is a pretty big word for him. You cannot change the outcome of what has already happened. Just like watching a movie, no matter how many times you rewatch it, the ending will stay the same. So why waste that time? I challenge you all today to think of something you are known to perseverate about, something that you have relived numerous times. Then, today, as we move our tassel across our hearts, let it go and leave it in the past. Figure it out, girls. Now, this is something normally shouted after I fumble a pass or miss a shot, but something my dad has always proven himself to do. When sports playoffs hit, my dad did not let the laggy TV remote stop him from watching all the games. Naturally, he installed 5 TVs in our garage just to catch them all at once. Now, this contraption was not made overnight. It took years of collecting TVs and the time and energy to hang them up. This goes to show that figuring out is easier said than done. Many of us feel as if we have our lives figured out and are eager to start the next chapter of our lives. Others may feel lost and insecure about their future. Do not feel pressured to answer the question, what do you want to do with your life? Life is full of twists and turns, but just know everything happens for a reason. Ask your mother. Now, as silly as that sounds, know that in the future you will not find all your answers in one place. I encourage you all to be unhesitant to reach out for help and do not settle until you are satisfied with the answer. I'll fix it. The past pandemic years have left several cracks in the foundation not only of ourselves, but of the country as a whole. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be willing to lend a helping hand, and you'll be surprised the support you will receive in return. Knock 'em dead. Now, this is not to be taken literally. Show the world what you are made of, and do not let others stand in the way of pursuing your dreams. Make the most out of the good days, but do not let the bad ones prevent you from moving forward. Lastly, proud of you. This is something I would like to tell you all. We all have had our own struggles behind the scenes that even some of our closest friends do not know about. For getting through those tough nights, math tests, and even just the strength to come to school every day, I am proud of all you and the people you have become. I would like to conclude this speech with the concepts that I wish you all take into the next chapter of your lives. Know that you will struggle. Know that it is okay to cry a little. Know when to reach out. But most importantly, know your worth. Thank you.
The Valedictorian honor is bestowed upon the senior who has earned the highest GPA over 8 semesters. Emma is a delegate to the Regional Student Advisory Council, class of 2022 vice president, member of the National Honor Society, and is a 2-season athlete. Emma will be attending Northeastern University, majoring in computer science and journalism. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce the Valedictorian of the class of 2022, Emma Klikaka.
Good morning, and congratulations to the class of 2022. Before I begin, I would like to thank my family, teachers, and anyone who has ever believed in me, even when I couldn't believe in myself. It is because of you that I stand here today, and your support will carry me far in college and beyond. As I sat down to write this speech, I struggled immensely with what to say. After all, how do you summarize 13 years of memories, friendships, and connections that will last a lifetime? There was, however, one memory, or a series of memories, I should say, that stuck out to me in particular. Ask anyone from the class of 2022, and they would be sure to tell you that from our times at West Street School, we were known as one special group of kids. When asked what makes our class so special, one faculty member replied that we are a close-knit group of kids that have pushed each other to achieve in the most caring and sometimes competitive way. We've also led our school through tough times during this pandemic and held each other up when the world around us was in chaos, and I could not think of a better way to describe our class. After all, how many graduating classes can say that almost half their class achieved over a 4.0 average, or that most of their sports teams made it to state championship tournaments despite facing difficult opponents? Though such accolades may look good on paper or make for some awesome bragging rights, they alone cannot account for what truly makes our class so special. Our strongest qualities are found in the traits that will lead us to successful lives outside of Granby Junior High School: hard work, creativity, and compassion. First and foremost, it is hard work that has allowed us such successes, and it is hard work that will carry us far into the future. Our National Honor Society students are a perfect example of the benefits reaped from a hard day's work. Those long days spent raking leaves were never easy, and it would have been simple enough for any one of us to decide that the work was just too much and not really worth the National Honor Society title at all. Instead, we pushed on, using our exhaustion and frustration as a motivator to work faster and even sharing a couple of laughs along the way. After all, what good would it be to work without having a little bit of fun along the way? Hard work can also be found in the creativity of our class. Walk down the hallways of Granby Junior Senior High School at any given time, and you will be sure to find artwork from the class of 2022, whether it be featured in the display case, in a mural done to beautify our school community, or in one of our many door decorating contests. And by the way, Mr. Corshane's Santa door should have won, but that's a story for another day. Yes, Mr. Corshane. These pieces were not only beautiful additions to our school, but a physical reminder of the connections shared by many students. Behind every mural and decorated door was a team of dedicated students with a passion for art and making our school a better place. And I encourage everyone to keep expressing their talents and beliefs creatively, as it is in collaboration and outside of the box thinking that have brought some of the greatest innovations of our lifetime, which brings me to my final point. Our class has built an unparalleled community, but it wouldn't be possible without the support and encouragement we provide for one another. This year, I had the privilege of watching as our boys basketball team made it to state playoffs, and it truly warmed my heart to see our school community show up in support of the team. At every game, we celebrated the triumphs, held our breath as they won games down to the wire, and supported the team through those tough losses. This is just one example of our mutual support for one another, but I think it truly demonstrates the nature of our group. The Granby Junior Senior High School class of 2022 shows up for each other and holds their support through rain or shine, wins or losses, and in good times and bad. People often like to talk about the road less traveled and how taking it is the key to the successful future, but I believe that this is mostly untrue. While there is nothing wrong with forging your own path and taking a more non-conventional route in life, it can be easy to get caught up with the idea that a bountiful future can only come from shaking things up. In reality, most people will lead a life on that road more traveled on, or it wouldn't be as clear as it is today. However, do not take this as a sign that your actions do not matter or in the greater scheme of things. The world changes in much smaller but equally impactful ways in every act of kindness and goodwill performed by hardworking, supportive, and creative individuals like us. From what I see today, I can tell you now that we will be the ones to change the world, and our influence will be felt in the lives of every person touched by our acts of kindness in our community and beyond. Thank you.
I'd like to call up Kayla Klikaka, the senior class corresponding secretary, to introduce today's commencement speaker.
Hello, everyone. It's my honor to introduce Ms. Weiner, the guest speaker for the class of 2022. Over the past 6 years, Ms. Weiner has welcomed us to the school with open arms and has always supported us. Ms. Weiner genuinely cares about the students and strives to make each day a positive experience with her sense of humor and candy. We will all miss seeing her around the halls of Granby Junior Senior High School, listening to her jokes, and will cherish all the memories that we have made with her over the past years. Ms. Weiner will be retiring at the end of this school year. She will be truly missed, and we wish her all the best. Thank you, Ms. Weiner.
Kayla. She has something for you.
Thank you.
To the class of 2022, I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for choosing me as your keynote speaker of this year's graduation. What a way to end the school year. I feel very honored to be part of your big day. What an accomplishment that all of you have worked for. You should be very proud of yourselves. It took a lot of hard work and perseverance to be where you are today. When people say time flies, it is true. Look how fast 6 years have gone by. It seems like yesterday when you entered Granby Junior Senior High School to start your 7th grade year. You were immature teenagers, but look at you now. You have grown into mature young adults. I am proud of all of you. Over these last 6 years, we have gone through so much together. We've laughed, cried, and supported each other through good times and bad. Oh, but we did laugh a lot and had good times over the bad ones. As your time here ends at Granby Junior Senior High School, new doors will open for you. Some of you will leave here, get married, start a family. Some will join the workforces. Some will choose a career and go to college. And some will join the armed forces to protect and serve our country. Whatever it may be your best. Do it for you. And make yourselves happy. Choose a career that you are going to love and that you are going to want to go to every day, and that it's going to be rewarding and fulfilling. When I started at the Granby schools back in 2000, I didn't think it would be for this long. I didn't think I would end up at the high school. Starting at West Street, then on to East Meadow, I figured I'd be over there for life. But no, I was transferred over to the high school. Being sad at first, I eventually found my place here and knew it was where I wanted to be, to guide the students and help them become productive members of society. As you sit here today before your Granby family, we know you have achieved the first step, but there is still a long road ahead of you. Life won't be easy. There will be many challenges, disappointments, achievements, and successes, but you will all face life's experience with strength, courage, and the belief in yourself that you got to this point. I enjoy coming to work because all of you make it enjoyable. Some days were a struggle, but we helped each other through it. A simple nod, a smile, a high five, or just a good morning saying, "Hello, ladies," a shout out, "Whiner," echoing the halls can lift one's spirit. When each day started, we learned new things in the classroom and grew from what we learned. In our downtime, we had the opportunity to chat about things that we did over the weekend or what we did after school, our interest about sports, and of course, general conversation at times. Giving a word of encouragement and just listening when you had to vent. Building a lasting relationship with you. That was important to me and meant a lot to me. I hope that I influenced your lives as much as you have influenced mine. I was in a 7th grade class the other day and was sitting by a student. The student said to me, "You're not a teacher. You don't teach a certain subject." This, however, is not true. I am a teacher. I reinforce what the classroom teacher teaches. I help all students and teach them some life skills that they aren't even aware of. A please, a thank you, even a compliment goes a long way. In the morning, I would stand in the hallway, say good morning, harass you about how much your mother paid for those jeans, or what vat of bleach you fell into, or what shredder got you. Little chuckles would follow, and some of you would say, I bought them myself. I would say, oh, just kidding. I would often yell at those of you who decided to run in the hallway, because I used to say, if you run and knock into me and break my hip, you're in big trouble. I knew time was passing and you were all growing up when you would approach me in the hallway and say that you were getting your license. I would joke and say, time for me to get off the road. Or I would say, already, I can't believe it. Boy, am I getting old. At times, some of you just needed a little bit of motherly advice, such as, get that work done. You can do this. Go to bed at night, instead of playing your video games all hours of the night, because you know what it does to your brain. You don't want to be here forever. My time with you was not just to help you and push you to be your best, but to make sure you were going to succeed as I passed you on to my sister, Mrs. Rideout. I have the motherly touch, grandmother now, since I was blessed with a beautiful grandson back in December. She has the iron touch with a soft side, but don't let her know that. That will be our secret. We felt that we would not and will not allow anyone to fail. That is obvious as you sit here in front of us today. You have started another journey in your lives today. As time has passed in the building, a lot has transpired. See how I have been here for 21 years. Many stories have been passed down by your brothers, sisters, and friends. These stories are true. The names, however, will be changed to protect the innocent. These things have actually happened, even though some of you are non-believers. First of all, I gave it my best shot at being a rapper. I thought I would make millions, but it didn't work out. Nobody would sign me, but I was a hit at school, so I stayed at Granby Junior Senior High School. Orion decided to have a water fight with me in English class. I took him on. I bet you can't guess who won. Buster decided to act a little crazy in Spanish. So I decided I better chase him around the room to calm him down. After that, he knew that he better not mess with me anymore. I would have been famous on Tickety Talk, but no luck with that because I didn't realize you needed a cell phone. I guess you need one of those to obtain some sort of following. The only followers were the students at Granby Junior Senior High School. However, I gave them a good laugh and something to chat about. When you enter the section of Granby Junior High, what is basically used for the 7th and 8th grade, many more things have taken place. However, it is all trapped in those cinder blocks upstairs. Not a word will be spoken about these events, but you still chat about it. I used to love going to the gym because I could get involved in getting you all to keep moving. Look at me. It made a big difference. Look at the change it made. Surely, you will remember those times in the hallway, and especially in class. Back then, you could tease and harass students because it was fun, and you guys knew how to take a joke. Today, times have changed, and one has to watch what they say and how they say it, because the world is much different today. How could any of you take me seriously knowing that the teasing and harassment was done out of pure love. Many times you asked me to come and watch and play your games. Basketball, soccer, lacrosse, baseball, softball. However, that wasn't possible because I had a part-time job working at the Fish and Wildlife in Hadley. Someone asked me what I did there. I told them I counted fish. 3 fours, I used 3 different neon colors depending on the size, and as the fish swam by, I dotted them with either pink, blue, or green. The larger fish were always on the first floor because they were getting ready to go and to be stocked. So remember, when you're enjoying a nice quiet day by the lake or fly fishing in the river with your buddies and you happen to catch a fish with a neon dot on it, it was me, Mrs. Weiner. I was the official dotter. Another story that is very popular is one about the Porter Street Blob. This one goes way back. If you haven't heard about this one, you can ask Mrs. Rideout. She can tell you all about it. She is a better source than Google. However, the one story that really gets passed down is the one about the toe. Not just any toe, but the hairy toe. Many of you have asked me with excitement in your voices to take a glimpse at it. Some of you were disgusted, some just curious. The toe has made students cry and even throw up. Some teachers were beyond words as to what to say about it. It was stated to me many times it wasn't real. By all means, it is real. I would challenge many of you to touch it if you thought it wasn't. One story that sticks with me is the day Brandon W. and his buddies wanted to see it. I made it a point to meet him in the cafeteria at lunch one day. They saved me a seat and potentially waited for me to arrive. Once I was down there, they were full of excitement. I sat down, took my shoe and sock off. They could hardly wait for the moment that they would see it. And bam, it was shown. It was the highlight of their day. And some were saying, "Oh, gross," or laughing. Some of the girls even wanted to see it. The group asked me to show another table of students the toe. I had no problem doing this. However, Mr. Cavallo was monitoring lunch on this particular day. I went over to the long table. I sat in a seat behind them. Mr. Cavallo came over and asked me if I was monitoring lunch. I told him no. I had something to show the students. He was standing at the end of the table with his arms folded. He turned and asked me, what was it? I asked him if he'd like to see it. He paused for a minute, looked at me, and said, no. Walking away, I chuckled to myself. I guess his curiosity did get the best of him. But I often wonder if he should have taken a gamble by wanting to find out what it was being shown on that day in the CAF. As stated earlier, some things that happened in this building cannot be shared. However, today, when you're hanging with your buddies and want to reminisce and have a good laugh, talk amongst each other about some of the crazy things that took place at your high school. Mrs. Rideout and myself do this. Just one more thing. There are 2 gentlemen here today that have similar names. I started calling one of them Matt. I often wondered why he never would acknowledge me when I would call out to him. He finally told me his name was Nate. Some of you reminded me of this also. I told him that his name was going to be Matt until the day he graduated. Well, today is the day that his name officially goes back to Nate. Finally, as you leave here today, I would like all of you to know that you have made my time at Granby Junior Senior High School very memorable, and I will cherish all the challenges and memories we have shared. Be well, stay safe. I wish you all much success and happiness in your lives. But there are 8 phrases that I would like to share with you that I had seen on Facebook. It says, believe in yourself, believe you can and you will. Stay strong, dream, believe, achieve. Never give up. A little progress each day adds up to big results. Be grateful. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. Work hard. Good things come to those who hustle. Stay humble. Work hard in silence. Let success make the noise. Be kind. Kindness makes you the most beautiful. Keep smiling, because your smile makes your life more beautiful. I love you guys. Congratulations.
Good morning. Listening to Ms. Weiner's speech, I was thinking maybe I could give up my time and she could do a little rap for us. But I won't make her do that today. Actually, nobody asked me to write a speech, but I wrote one anyway. This time of year is always a time for reflection for educators, and this year is certainly no different. In reflecting back over the last year or so, I knew that transitioning from the role of principal to superintendent would mean making sacrifices, and one of those sacrifices would likely mean less interaction with our student body, which, ironically, is my favorite part of being an educator. Add to that 2 additional years of remote and hybrid learning, and it's hard not to feel that I, as many of us here today have had time and memories with the class of 2022 stolen. That being said, I'm choosing not to dwell on the time lost because there are so many positive things that we can all think about with this class. While sitting at the boathouse on Monday night and in the gym this past Thursday, I looked around at these wonderful young men and women, and the good memories poured in. My initial meeting with this class happened in the cafeteria in September of 2017 to introduce myself as their new principal. It was immediately evident that the class of 2022 was special. Special in the classroom. Over 40 students graduating today have a GPA over 3.5, 20 of them over a 4.0. Members of this class have played in Western Mass and state tournaments, and there are some young women in this class who contributed to a Western Mass championship and participated in a state soccer final. There is a 1,000-point scorer in basketball and a 100-goal scorer in lacrosse. They trained our middle school students to be active bystanders and how they can speak up when they see something or someone being treated poorly. This class is abound with artistic and musical talent. Their lunchtime karaoke is evidence of that. They won pep rally volleyball as sophomores, and now after listening to Ari, I guess they won Spirit Week, is it 4 years in a row? All 6. You're so far away. They coordinated thank yous to their teachers on Zoom during remote learning. 22 members of this class provided academic support to students at East Meadow this year as interns. These are just a handful of those memories, and it is obvious the class of 2022 excels in everything they do. Thinking back to that September morning in 2017 in the cafeteria, I remember talking to all of you about the opportunity to leave a legacy here in Granby. I urged you to find ways to leave Granby Junior Senior High School better than you found it. As I stand here today in front of a group of people whose academic achievements, of which there are many, are outweighed only by their kind, caring, and big personality, I could not be more impressed. You may not have listened to me that morning, but the message sure seems to have sunk in. And I have no doubt that you are leaving the Granby Public Schools a better place than when you arrived. And for that, I thank you. And I have no doubt that you will do the same at your next stop, be it in Tucson, Arizona, Burlington, Vermont, Springfield or Boston, Massachusetts, Columbia, South Carolina, or anywhere else your next steps take you. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2022. Now for the reason that I was invited up here. Chairperson Jennifer Bartos and members of the Granby School Committee, I present to you the class of 2022. By the power vested in me as a superintendent of schools in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I certify that these 64 students have satisfactorily completed the scholastic requirements set forth by the Granby School Committee and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and are entitled to receive their diploma.
On behalf of the Granby School Committee and the community as a whole, I accept as qualified the graduation, or for graduation, the class of 2022. I congratulate all of you on the completion of your program of studies and will now award you your diplomas.
You're going down.
I'm going, okay.
Oh, Gabe. Get up.
Stephen, tell them to come this way.
Emma Lynn Klikatka. Ariana Rose Klikatka. Kayla Marie Klikatka. Emily Marie Frank. Paige Warner Galusha. Evan William Anderson. Gabriel Stephen Arabic. There we go. Now we got it. Alexis Hasil Ariza. Connor John Aslan. Demi Ayers. Allison Marie Barcelou. Jacob Nathaniel Joseph Benson. Joseph Paul Boyington. Nathan C. Bro. This way. Make sure we won't have a truck in the way. I swear we practiced this. Very cool. That's kind of cool. Nathan J. Bro. Liam C. Brown. Malcolm DeWitt Brown. William Michael Burke. Dana Elizabeth Shetanoff. Brianna Mackenzie Coelho. Liberty Ann. I'll try that again. Liberty Ann Conlon. Here we go again. Christian. We're just waiting for your dad. Christian Paul Cudworth. Joseph Christian Dupre. Gianna Rose DeRico. May Tyler Dupel. Casey L. Funk. Ryan Hahn. Nathan Alexander Grandmont. Go right up to Miss Justin. Brianne Hackett. Sienna Cole. He. Colin James Kennedy. Nick Lashway. Kevin Joseph Longo. Go to Mr. Cooper James Looney. Tegan M. McClure. Paige Lynn Maziars. Isaiah Jonathan Mejias. Carly Bridget Moriarty. Jason Mora. Edward Sean O'Grady, Jr. Sam Douglas Ortensi. Declan James Otto. Caitlin Ann Willett. Katrina Vivian Pelchat. Eric Wayne Puffer. Claire Rondeau. Madison Lee Seha. Elena May Shippey. Jordan C. Seacard. Brianna Noel Sosa. Tyler Sudsbury. Sarah Nia Swanigan. Michael William Toth. Raymond Nathan Toth. Devin Walker. Gabrielle Lee Walls. Jonas West. Marshall Winsek. Brandon Wishart. I do want to recognize two graduates not in attendance today, Francisco Clement and Cal Green. And as I've said to my seniors all year, now is the time to go get smarter.
I'd like to call up Senior Class Vice President Emma Klikaka.
And we would just like to give a special thanks to our parents and teachers for their unwavering support, as well as the custodial and ground staff for preparing the space for graduation. Another special thanks to the Booster Club for their support of our Granby community, and to Chrissy Masajic and Jess for taking the pictures at all of our events, sorry. And finally, we would like to thank our local businesses, Sapowski Farms and Cindy's Drive-In, for making all of these senior events possible this year. So, thank you.
In closing, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the following contributors of today's commencement ceremony. Carly Moriarty for designing the program cover in Mr. Kearns' graphic class. To GCAM for live streaming tonight's events for loved ones at home to attend. To Colleen Bannister and Sarah Bearden, our guidance counselors, for their behind-the-scenes work to make today possible. To Tammy Justin and Natalie Lacoste, their administrative assistants, for assisting with the preparations of graduation ceremony. Mr. Todd Dorman. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. To our staff, I hope you can hear me, for being you and for taking such good care of our 2022 graduates. Our GPS facilities department, 95 photos, Jess and Chrissy, we can't begin to thank you enough. To Elizabeth McQuaid Russell for the latest edition of the school's yearbook. Our Granby Booster Club for their continued support of our students. The town of Granby for your support while preparing for today's ceremonies by donating the chairs and the stanchions in the back. Sapowski's for these beautiful trailing petunias. The Reminder, Gazette, Sentinel, and every newspaper that has reached out to us in the past 2 months for putting today together's program and graduation spread for all families. And last, and my favorite, the class of 2022 for allowing us to be part of your journey.